August 1966, Sunset Sound Studios, Hollywood. The Doors walked into Studio 2 with a problem. They had dark, hypnotic pieces like The End that could pull audiences into a trance at the Whiskey A Go-Go. But Elektra Records needed something for radio, something that could make listeners feel what clubgoers already knew. This band from the Sunset Strip was unlike anything else. The timing was perfect, as Morrison had recently pushed his bandmates to contribute their own songs. 20-year-old Robbie Krieger had written something. Astonishingly, it was the first song he'd ever written. Light My Fire began as a simple framework with a chord progression that climbed and descended in ways pop music rarely dared. But the Doors weren't interested in simple. Engineer Bruce Botnick rolled tape. The introduction was more like a film score than a pop song. Then Jim Morrison began to sing. His voice carried both danger and vulnerability, as if he were revealing something private in real time. And the lyrics weren't about teen romance or heartbreak. They were about desire, surrender, the thrill of losing yourself in something larger. 4 minutes in, they were supposed to be wrapping up for radio. Instead, they were only beginning. Ray launched into an organ solo that seemed to channel both Bach and the blues. Robbie answered with a flamenco-flavored guitar line that wove around Ray's melodies, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in open defiance. For nearly 7 minutes, the two of them traded ideas while Morrison prowled the studio and Densmore anchored the storm. When the vocals finally returned, something had shifted in the air. They had created a piece that didn't fit anywhere. Too long for radio, too intricate for the top 40, yet unmistakably alive. Everyone in the room knew they had captured lightning, but it was too long for AM radio. For weeks, the Doors resisted every suggestion to cut it down. Radio programmers told them they had a surefire number one if they'd only trim the solos. The band refused. Those solos weren't indulgence. They were the song's heartbeat. Eventually, the push came from radio. LA disc jockey Dave Diamond, then a prime voice on KHJ, had been spinning the full 7-minute version and urged the label to release it as a single. Faced with his conviction and growing pressure from Elektra, producer Paul Rothchilds took on the challenge. Working with engineer Bruce Botnick, he sculpted a concise 3-minute edit, so seamless that few listeners ever realized it had been shortened. The edit came in just under 3 minutes, less than half the original length. It still bothered Robbie and John decades later, but it worked. The single version of Light My Fire climbed to number 1 and changed everything. That day at Sunset Sound reminds us that success doesn't always come from playing it safe. It comes from trusting your instincts. Breakthroughs don't happen by giving the audience what it wants. They happen when you risk giving it something it's never heard before.